Hello sunshines, welcome to BunniPhish Crafts. I'm your host Heather, known as BunniPhish on Instagram, YouTube, and Patreon, and today I am coming to you from not my normal location. Today is Saturday, the first week of April, 8th maybe, I don't know what the date is. We're on vacation. No, today is not Saturday, today is Friday, oh my gosh. Ooh, it's Friday. So we are on vacation. We have been in Florida since Monday morning, and we went to Disney for 4 days in a row, 4 different parks. And it was good, but it is exhausting. So maybe you're new here, you don't know anything about me. I'm from Michigan, and I have 2 kids and a boyfriend who live with me. And there's also other people who live in my house, but those are the people who I'm on vacation with. And my boyfriend's family is from Florida. So I told him when he was planning this trip that I was going to need a day off at some point, and he didn't plan that in for me. So my boyfriend, my 2 kids, his sister and brother and mom, and then his sister's 3 daughters are gone. They went to an aquarium. So I'm currently sitting on the, I don't know, is this called a lanai? It's kind of a little screened in porch thing at the timeshare. That's where I'm currently sitting. This is not where we stayed. We stayed in a really, really inexpensive hotel that is really tiny, but you know, it has 2 beds. That's all we really needed, just somewhere to sleep in between Disney trips. So anyway, I am here with you, and I took some footage of things that I was planning to bring because I just couldn't settle on any projects. And yeah, I knew I was going to need inline, knitting for in the lines at rides and stuff. So I brought a couple different options for that. I brought some car projects. That's quite loud. But anyway, they're all gone to the aquarium, which I love aquariums, and I'm a little sad I'm not going to the aquarium. However, I know that I need this morning time, this aquarium time, to do my own thing. Otherwise, I'm just going to be increasingly cranky throughout the day. So they're going to the aquarium, and I hope they're having so much fun. Yes, I was talking about things that I was bringing. So I will put in that, I'll put in the clips that I took before we left so that you can see what I thought I was going to bring. And I will also check the audio on this. All right, friends, so they started mowing the lawn outside, and then there were kids outside screaming, you know, as kids do when they're having fun. Hopefully this is okay. I know the light is coming from the side, so it'll be a little weird. And I know the AC is running. Please bear with me. Also, it might be a little echoey in here. Oh well, vacation video is what it is. So we went to Disney. It was a lot of fun, and I will put in footage of that at the end. And I have some things to show you. So you saw what I brought, what I was planning to bring, what I was maybe thinking I was going to work on, and I did knit. I did knit while we were at, well, all week. I've knit all week, so I have a little to show you. I obviously did not finish everything I brought. I just brought enough so that I would never run out of things and also not be bored. So let's show you some things that are finished. I actually finished these on the drive from Michigan to Kentucky. So we stopped in Kentucky. We drove from Michigan to Kentucky. My kids stayed with their dad. we stayed with my boyfriend's godparents, and on that drive, I finished my static zing socks. Well, they're not mine, they're my boyfriend's. And he loves them, he's already worn them. So here we go. There are both socks, and I'll put in some footage of him wearing them. He felt very smug wearing them. His cousin was at his godparents' house, and his cousin likes to wear fun, funky socks, and so eventually I'll be making a pair for him too, a pair of something, not necessarily a pair of static zings, just a pair of socks, because the sock that he really liked, the cousin, is this sock right here. So this sock, did I say Static Zing was by Megan Williams? Because it is. I'll go back to those in a second, but this is another Megan Williams pattern. This is partying it up and getting it down. Getting down? Yeah. So I made these socks a super long time ago, and I completely patched the heel on it. So all of this green is duplicate stitch because it wasn't broken, but it did have, it was wearing out, and I know that he really, really likes this pair of socks, so I patched those. The yarn for this one is a Patton's Croy, and the patch is the same yarn as this. So this yarn is, the colorful yarn is Rockin' String Creations, yes, in the Cabinet Christmas Time color, and the gray is Barocco Sock. So Static Zing is really cool because you change colors every row, and there are slip stitches involved to make this really cool pattern. So I had quite a bit left, maybe a color repeat, maybe like 6 stripes left, I'm not sure, which is why I decided to use it to patch this. Maybe I had 7 stripes. So I patched this, and I'm going to use the rest of that yarn to patch up some other socks. Yeah, right there on the couch, I have some socks that I plan to patch. Maybe today, I don't know. But I'm going to use that yarn to patch that up, and whatever doesn't get used in the patching is going in Patrick's blanket. I also fixed another pair of socks for him. These were the original Ridgeback socks, like the, what's that called? The prototype. So here they are. Aren't they cute? As you can see though, those heels are not what's in the pattern page. So one of them, there was a hole right here in the heel, there was a hole right here in the heel, so I took out the entire heel and knit an afterthought heel. Not a high instep afterthought, because Patrick doesn't need it. So the high instep afterthought heel is really, really great if you have a high instep. And it would work fine on people who don't, but it's just a little bit more work. And I didn't want to do that little bit more work. I was feeling lazy. So I just put in a regular afterthought heel, again with the Barocco socks, and then right at the end, I ran out right there. So I used the Manos del Uruguay Alegria that I used for my scrappy socks 2 weeks ago. So all of this ball of yarn, this Barocco socks, is all gone. So exciting. So that's the first sock that I patched in that pair. And then this sock, the bottom part, you can see is fine. It's not showing wear, but the back of the heel up into the garter stitch section was, it was not good. So I picked up, I pulled all the torn out stuff out. And then I picked up the stitches along the the Fish Lips Kiss heel. That's the heel that I used in my prototype. You could use any short row heel, or if you decided you wanted to do a heel flap and gusset, you could also do that in the pattern. It's not written for that, but you could. Oh, maybe I'll do that on my next pair of Ridgeback. That would be cool. I'll do that later. Worry about that later, because I love Ridgeback and I will definitely be making it again. So you can see the teal is pretty big. I worked, let's see, I did some of the short rowing and some of the teal. What did I do first? I think I did some of the short rows, and then you can see right there, there's like a green stitch in the middle of the brown. That's where that stripe ran out. And I was like, well, I don't want to change the color because I didn't want the green in here. I think the brown and the teal look nice with the rest of the sock, but I didn't think that this, I didn't think I would like either of these greens in this heel patch in this sock. So then I jumped up to this part and worked the teal down until it changed back into brown, and then worked the brown until it was time to Kitchener closed. So it's kind of like Patrick has 5 more socks to add to his collection, because these 2 have been sitting on my bedside table for at least a year, waiting for me to get back to them to patch them. A whole year. It didn't even take that long. I mean, maybe an hour each per sock, but they're going to get so much more wear now, you know, versus throwing them away. And he loves these socks. And there are so many more things to knit than just socks for Patrick, although if I only knit socks for him, he would be very happy. Speaking of, I finished one of the socks that I brought. Remember, I brought 2 pair to work on? So I finished one, and I finished this morning. The pattern is called Zipper. I don't remember the designer, but I'll put it on screen right up here, and it will be linked in the show notes below. It is for purchase on Ravelry. It's like a $2 pattern. It's something that I've had in my library for a long time. So you can see it's not complicated. Like, the pattern repeat is not complicated, but can you see that these zipper parts are made from twisted stitches? That's why the sock took me so long. Why I thought I needed to do a sock with twisted stitches while standing in line for rides, I don't know. I mean, I do know. I do know because it looked really cool. And Patrick thinks it looks really cool, so it's worth it. It's also a 72 stitch sock because of the twisted stitches. Normally I would make Patrick a 60 stitch sock. So yeah, it's fine. It's fine. It just took a really long time to do all of this. And I'm pretty excited about the sock for him because Patrick is like ridiculous sentimental about things. And so this is his Disney sock. I worked on it while we were waiting in line for the Star Wars Rise of the Republic. Is that what it's called? I don't know. It's a long, long line. I think it was 2.5 hours for that ride to wait in line. Something really, really long, which is fine. That's what he really, really wanted to do. I knit on it in line for all of the roller coaster rides because my daughter wanted to ride all of the roller coasters, and she did, except for Splash Mountain, because we were in line for Splash Mountain and it shut down in the middle of the day. And then that was Monday, and we went back to the hotel room after that because I was tired and cranky and getting a migraine because of the hot and the sun. Sun makes me sick, unfortunately. So we went back to the hotel and I was just not feeling great, so I didn't go back to the park, and my oldest stayed with me. But Patrick and the youngest went back to Disney, and they got in line for Splash Mountain again because my daughter really, really wanted to do all of the roller coasters. She didn't do all of the roller coasters. Like I think Minnie and Mickey something. I think that's a ride, that's a roller coaster, and she didn't do the 7 Doors, but like she did all of the mountains the first day. And we did roller coasters at the other parks. So anyway, sorry, distracted. They went back to the park and they were in line for Splash Mountain again, and they were almost to the front of the line and the ride broke down again. So that's the only like mountain ride that she didn't go on. But it was a lot of fun, and yeah, I worked on these socks and all of this sock in all of the lines, except when it got too dark. When it got too dark, I pulled out this hat because I got it through the ribbing at Patrick's godparents' house. I finished the ribbing, so it's just been stockinette. So this hat has been worked on mostly in lines when it's too dark to see, or on rides where it's dark, like what is it, the Navi River in Animal Kingdom. I don't remember what these rides are called. I just went on them. So anyway, you basically go through like a dark river sort of thing, and it's very enjoyable. And so I worked on this because it wasn't very bumpy. I didn't need to have my hands on anything. I just sat in a seat and rode the ride and knit on this hat. So this hat is for Patrick's brother, who I just met this morning. So that is exciting. Patrick picked out the yarn. It is Madeline Tosh something. I still have the tag on the inside. I need to put that in my journal and then I will let you know what it is. But yeah, that's the hat. It's just going to be a Sockhead hat, the whatever one you cast on 144 stitches for. That's the size that I'm making. And then while we were at Patrick's godparents, because we were there for a pretty good portion of Sunday. We were there until 5 p.m. We stayed the night, Saturday to Sunday. So I started a sweater for myself. You're not gonna be able to really see it because it's super bunched up, but I am making the Dovetail by Manos del Uruguay, and it looks like that. That's what the yoke looks like. I have this yarn from Humble Bumble Fibers Company, and here we go. Here's the minis. So it came with 5 minis. I've decided I'm not going to use this pink because I don't like pink, so why would I put pink in a sweater for myself? Like, it's not necessary, so I'm not going to. We can maybe see that there's 5 stripes in the yoke. So what I'm going to do is I have this teal color that I'm using just at the yoke, I think. I have 2 skeins of this purple and then a skein of teal, and that's everything that I have for the body of the sweater, and then these minis are for the yoke. So I don't know how much sweater that's going to give me. This is a worsted weight sweater. I'm using a DK weight yarn. I had to do some sweater math because my row gauge after blocking was pretty spot on, which is what I'm way more worried about than stitch gauge, especially for like a yoked sweater, because I want the stripes to fall where they're supposed to fall. So I'm using this, but my stitch count was way off. So I'm using the stitch count for the second size, but I'm using the lengths, like the knit so many rows, for the 3rd size for the yoke. And yeah, this is where it's going. I thought originally that I was going to knit the colors in the rainbow order that they came in. So it would have been color A, color B, and then color C. However, I did the first round and a half of where the colors change right here. And there was not enough contrast. And so I put it down for a few days and I was like, oh, do I want to rip that back and change the color order? And ultimately I did, because if I'm going to go through all of the work of making a color work sweater, I want it to show up, right? It's too much work to not do that. So my color order is going to be A, B, C, D, and then I'm gonna go back to the teal for E because I have a lot of this yarn. So I don't know if I'm going to stripe this somewhere or extend this last stripe or something. I'm not sure. I haven't decided because I only have 2 balls of the purple. And let's see how much it calls for really quick. I didn't look at yarn requirements before I started knitting the sweater. That sounds too much like right. Yeah, so it calls for 6 skeins of Manos del Uruguay Alegria for the body. Which my gauge is also way looser and I'm fine with it because I like the fabric. So yeah, I'm supposed to have 6 skeins of the main color. I'm also not attached to having this sweater have long sleeves though. I think that, especially with the colors that I have, that this would be, it would be really cute with shorter sleeves. So we will see. I haven't decided. That's future Heather's problem. Current Heather is just going to knit through the color work parts and make decisions later. That's all the knitting that I've done, but I do have a couple things to show you. I have a couple things to talk about. So reading, I left my book in the car. I left that in the car when we got to the hotel, and I had books in the suitcase because I enforced family reading, I think twice this week. The other 2 days we got home too late or whatever, but I had packed books so that we could do family reading. And I was too lazy to go down the stairs and go out to the car at like 10 o'clock at night to go get the book that I was reading. So instead, I picked up Everything Everything, which is by Nicola Yoon, who I really, really like. This is only the second Nicola Yoon book that I've read, but you know how sometimes you read an author's writing and you're like, I will read everything you've ever written. That's how I feel about Nicola. So the other book that I read by her is The Sun Is Also a Star, which was so, so good. So this one is about a girl who is sick. She basically lives in a bubble. Like her house has airlocks and stuff and special filtration. And then a boy moves in across the street, next door. I don't know, moves in somewhere. This book was so good. It had me feeling all the feels. It's young adult, it's romance-ish, but not like super romance. Kind of feels The Fault in Our Stars-ish, except not as tragic at the end as The Fault in Our Stars. So if you like The Fault in Our Stars, I would recommend this book. I really liked it. And it's also fun because there's illustrations through the book, like this. And where's my favorite? I know, highly engaging content right this second. I don't even remember where in the book my favorite illustration was because, oh, I like this one. Like there's illustrations like that throughout. Not a ton. It's not like a picture book. Although this one does have pictures from the movie because this book was made into a movie, which now I kind of want to see. I'm interested to see how that all shakes out. I thought about seeing the movie when it first came out, but decided against it. And now I've decided that maybe I would like it. So I finished that, and then I was like, okay, I could start one of the other books I brought, or I could go get my book out of the car. So I did. Yesterday, I grabbed Noor, and I am very close to finishing. I'm on page 189, there's 212 pages. I'm probably going to read this while I'm waiting for family to come back from the aquarium. So this will be finished today. Didn't bring another book to read while here at the timeshare. It's fine. I have a book that I will start tonight at the hotel room. I'm gonna read Blackout, which is a, what is that? Anthology, kind of? Or maybe it's just a short story collection and not like really an anthology. Nicola Yoon is in that, Nick Stone is in that, I think Angie Thomas also wrote a story for that, so I'm really excited to read that. They're all writing buddies, and I love all of them. Of course they're writing buddies, because they're amazing. So I'm gonna start that tonight, because I'm gonna finish this. And also, I have been listening to audiobooks, the Wheel of Time series. I finished the 5th book, which is called The Fires of Heaven, and I'm reading the 6th book, audiobooking the 6th book, which is, I think it's called The Lord of Chaos. And I've kind of just started it. I'm only on like the 6th section of the audiobook, but the prologue was like almost 4 hours long. So, I mean, I get it. There were a lot of characters that we had to catch up with for Wheel of Time, but it was definitely a time investment. But now I'm into the actual story, so that's exciting. All right, I only have one more thing to show you before I put in video and picture at the end of the, actually, no. I am going to put in video and picture at the end of the slideshow, but it's only Friday, which means I have a whole weekend with, I mean, we do have a drive day tomorrow, but I think Patrick's doing most of the driving, so I think I'm going to have quite a bit of knitting time, so I'm not gonna end this here. I will end this when we get home. Okay, decision made. But I wanna show you something else that's really, really cool. So Patrick's sister is an artist, and if you've been here a long time, I have a mug from her, like one of those tumbler mugs that she painted with a penguin on it, and it has my name, and Mara has a water bottle that has her name, and my oldest has a water bottle with their name on it, and she painted the kids some Disney shoes, and these are so cool. Look at that. It's a Converse. She painted them with fabric paint. That's hand painted. So Mara has princesses on her shoes. How cool is that? I'm not even a shoe person, and I kind of want to ask her if she'll paint me a pair of shoes, because they're amazing. We've got Rapunzel and Jasmine. Oh my gosh, I love these. Look how cute Raja is. So cute. And then for my oldest wants to be a marine biologist when they grow up. So I wish I would have lied and said that they wore the same shoe as me, but that would not have been true, so I didn't say that. So look at this. Look at that octopus. How cool is that shoe? amazing. And then this one has detail like right here. It's got like waves and stuff. And then, what? Can you see the sharks? These shoes are so cool. I want a pair. She's making a Star Wars pair for Patrick. I don't know for sure what I would want on a pair of shoes, but I kind of feel like if I could have like a goth Belle, if I could have the Disney princesses goth, but especially Belle, that would be what I want. Like, I'm sure you've seen those pictures if you're interested in Disney at all, like fan art, where the Disney princesses have like tattoos and piercings and stuff. I just want, yeah, I want a goth Belle. Who else would I take as a goth princess? I like Merida for sure. And, Princess Tiana. Who would I pick for my fourth princess? Mulan. Bitch, yes. Oh, I don't swear on this podcast. Sorry. Yeah, Mulan would be so cool. Maybe I'll ask for that. Maybe I won't. I don't know. I feel weird asking for things, even though I know she would make it for me. Whatever. Those shoes are really, really cool. All right, friends. I am going to go and relax, and I will see you in a couple days. Bye for now. Hello, sunshines. It is Monday. So when you see next week's episode and I'm wearing literally the exact same thing, it's because it's the same day. So I didn't have time yesterday to record, and we got home at 11 p.m. So I still wanted to like close off this video. So I'm going to show you progress really quick on some things, but I'm going to talk more in depth at the beginning of next week's episode. So really quick, here is the hat, which I made pretty decent progress on. Oh no, I dropped my stitch marker that told me how many rounds I needed to do. Guess I will put another one of those in. And then here is the sweater, and I have a story about this, so make sure to come back next week for that, for the story of the sweater. So making pretty good progress on the sweater. Thank you so much for watching. I did start reading Blackout, and I'm enjoying it right now. So it's got 6 or 7 different authors in it, and I think each author is writing like their own love story, but every chapter is a different point of view. I'm only 4 chapters in, so I've only met 3 prospective couples. So because one couple is in 2 different chapters. So yeah, that's how that's going, and I'm liking it a lot so far. There are two authors in the book whose work I'm not familiar with, so I'm looking forward to that. But I'll tell you about that more next week. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Stay here if you want to see some footage from Disney. It's not going to be long. It'll probably be like a song's worth of Disney stuff because I took a lot more pictures than I thought I would. So it'll be like a song's worth of Disney and the end screen. If you want to stay around for that, fantastic. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you enjoyed this week, and like, comment, subscribe. I will see you in about a week. Bye, friends.